two endowments, Dr. M. Narasimhachari Memorial Endowment and Sri Venkatanarayan Iyer and Srimati Sundaramba Endowment. There is a Subhashita which says, Kalamata Saiva Kala Yatha Adakriyate Bhavaha Bhakti Vischa Kalavihi Kim Yadihi Ankata Pradashyate. That alone is truly the art of one proficient in arts by which the sorrows of the worldly life are put down. What is the use of many arts by which only huge numerical figure is exhibited? So this second session we have interesting topics on Mallavidya, musicology, Prakerika and Shakuna Shastra, and our session head is Dr. Professor R. Tyagarajan sir. I call upon Director Dr. KSRI75 sir to introduce our session. First, we would like to honor our session head with the memento.
Good afternoon to all of you. This session will be on different arts. Also, the next session, which is going to be held tomorrow morning, and the chairperson for the present session will be Professor Tyagarajan. Who does not require any introduction. He is a professor to most of us here. And Kameshwari, the Brahma, who presented Kameshwari, who has been the director, and Dr. Umapati is here. So, almost all of us are his students. I am not direct student, but yes, I am a student. Professor Tyagarajan studied Sanskrit in Vivekananda College. He had MA. And then he was employed in this very institute, which many people didn't know. Many of our library registers still contain the handwritten versions of Professor Tyagarajan. So he is very familiar with our library. He has also taught in Madras Sanskrit College for some time. Then he worked in Presidency College, where he appeared as the head of the Department of Sanskrit. The greatness of Professor Tyagarajan is not simply because he has done a PhD. Of course, his PhD is on critical edition and study of Anantagavi's Bhagavatam, but it's a very dense text. But he has helped more than 150 scholars to get a PhD, which itself is a record. So many scholars who, after finishing their MA, went to him. And not only students, but anybody from any department, whether it is mathematics or from science background or any background for that matter, they used to approach Professor Tyagarajan for some references, and he never denied them the opportunity of assisting them. As he became very popular among the academicians, he has published number of research articles in leading journals in India and abroad. He has also written many books, especially in Tamil, to make others understand the greatness of Sanskrit. And also, he has written in Tamil magazines on different aspects of Sanskrit literature. And he has helped many students in recording many of the stotras, Vedic chanting, etc., which have been there uploaded uploaded in the YouTube also, and single-handedly he was conducting Sanskrit programs in All India Radio as well as in the Doordarshan. Those days, I think every fifth Sunday, after the Prasadikita program is to be conducted, that is hardly once in 2-3 months we used to have one Sanskrit program in Doordarshan, and Professor Tyagarajan was in charge of it. So he introduced many traditional and modern scholars in that program. And he has gone abroad to many countries. He has been invited by many universities to share his vast experiences in many shastras. And in YouTube, you can find his name, Dr. Tyagarajan. Even now, almost daily he is uploading something from Sanskrit literature, from Upanishads, from the Vedas, from Subhashitas, from Apai Dikshita's text, you name it. Daily he is uploading something. He is going to talk about it tomorrow on Germology, what we call the Vector Pariksha. So he has been doing quite a lot. He has been the recipient of many awards, and he started an institution called Fellowship of Sanskrit Culture, in which he published many books, especially the syllabus for the college students. He has been the chairman of the Board of Studies for the syllabus as well as for other academic programs, not only of Madras University, other universities also. So we are indeed thankful to Professor Tyagarajan for agreeing to come over here to present over this session. He will also be talking to us tomorrow on Ratna Pariksha, and presently he is occupying a chair called Sanatana Dharma chair, instituted by one of the senior advocates of Supreme Court, C.S. Vidyanathan, and he has been collecting materials on Hindu religious endowments, starting from Vedic time onwards, which we shall be publishing as a book after the project is over. So we are thankful to you, sir, for your readily accepting our invitation. And we are going to have 4 presenters today. There is going to be a change from the program that we have given you. Dr. Padmaja Suresh has come all the way from Bengaluru. Of course, she is internationally acclaimed Bharatanatyam artist as well as a researcher. We thank her. Before Dr. Preeti introduces her formally, we are indeed thankful to you, madam. Amidst her busy, very busy schedule, she holds KSRI in her heart. So whenever we request her to come, she immediately comes, not minding any difficulties. We are thankful to you, madam, for coming here. So she will be the first paper presenter today, and others will be Professor Vasudeva on Mallavidya, wrestling, and Professor Abhirama Sundari from Queen Mary's College on musicology and practicing music, and Dr. Umapati of Madras Sanskrit College on Prahelika, that is on puzzles and brain teasers. I think you will all be enjoying all the papers which are going to be presented now. And I request Professor Tyagarajan to take over the proceedings. Over to Professor Tyagarajan, please.
Alikulaveniim, Bhavambudidronim, Veenasuku Sisupaniim, Natagirvanim, Namami Sarvanim. தமிழில் பேசுறதா இங்கிலீஷில் பேசுறதா சந்தேகம் எனக்கு போகும். எனவே இங்கிலீஷில் I am really grateful to the organizers for having invited me to act as the chairperson for this session on at the National Seminar on Arts and Architecture conducted by the very famous Kupusami Sastry Research Institute, wherein I have also some role to play. The present director, Bharatanatyam, has already told many things about me. Of course, what all I did it as a ritual. I'll explain what is ritual later. Of course, as a Karma Yogi, we have been doing this. Having been a Sanskrit professor, I wanted to do something in Sanskrit, on Sanskrit, and about Sanskrit. Things are going on, as he said, till now. And of course, even today we are delivering YouTubes for all these things. Much help is rendered by Mr. Vijayan, who is in front of me, just with the camera. He is the person who is doing all these things. I am only a speaker, that's all. However, the contents are prepared and spoken by me. Today, I don't want to stand in between the prospective speakers who are with all curiosity to present the papers in full, because most of the seminars, the chairperson used to just give a bell indicating them, you please finish it. Which mistake I don't want to do. We have been speaking in all the places. There were places where we got frustrations also due to this type of activity. So, I want to leave the benefit to the speakers who have come well prepared, hoping that my paper will be appreciated by the audience. So, generally the chairperson used to give some introduction about the subject and other things, embarrassing the speaker himself. Many things they will speak, and the speaker with the preparation will think, this man has spoken everything, then what I am going to talk. So that embarrassment I don't want to give. So, as Mr. Professor Dr. Balasubramaniam has already said, there are going to be 4 papers. All the papers are very interesting. Mallavidya, musicology and practicing music. Prahelika, which is very interesting. It is not just to boast myself. The Prahelika was taken as a subject in All Day Radio for some time. The first time I took it, and also I introduced it in the 11th standard and 12th standard textbooks also. What is Prahelika and 1 or 2 Prahelikas and other things. Because till that time people did not know about it. So it is a very interesting subject also, which makes you, with regard to the Prahelika, I will come later. Then Sakuna Shastra. These are the days when people are becoming highly rationalistic and they are going against. Padmaja. Sakuna Shastra later, last. Okay. Padmaja Suresh has taken a beautiful subject, Bharatanatyam, as a ritual. Actually, I always think of Kalidasa whenever you talk about Bharatanatyam. Natyam Binnaruchehe Bahudapyekam Samaradakam. Excellent topic you have taken. I will wait for your delivery. So, Even in translations also, in recent translations in English, this particular Malikagnitram has been prescribed for 12th standard students. Many people have translated in English in a different way, great portions. I translated in a different way, which if you know that I have attached this Bharatanatyam to a ritual, this Aradhana. So, in such a way I have translated, and of course I am fully satisfied with the translation, and people who know about this, they have appreciated also over telephone. They said, what a fantastic translation it is. So these are all the things which are encouraging us also while we are doing something. Now I call Madam Dr. Padmaja Suresh, who is the director, Atmalaya Academy, Bangalore, who has come all the way from Bangalore to present her paper. Of course, she is leaving also today. After presenting the paper, you are leaving? Okay. So she wants my remarks at the end of her paper itself. Generally, at the end of the session only the chairperson used to give views. But anyway, this is also good for me because I am prone to forget all the papers, what they have spoken and all. So then and there, if I dispose, that is also good. Of course, I don't want to take much of your time also and bore the audience also. So now I request Dr. Padmaja Suresh to present her PowerPoint presentation. Is it? PowerPoint presentation on Bharatanatyam as a ritual, and as all of you are interested, I am also interested to hear what she is going to speak. Thank you very much.
Namasabhayai, Dr. Padmaja Suresh, an acclaimed Bharatanatyam dancers, teacher, research scholar, writer and social worker. She has been arduously trained by her mentor Guru, Sri T.K. Kalyansundaram. She holds several degrees and a doctorate from Department of Philosophy, University of Mysore, and Tantra the Science and Natya the Art. Her institution, Atmalaya Academy, Bangalore, has a wing for propagating arts for lesser privileged children throughout India. She serves as an external examiner at some institutions and is assistant professor at University of Silicon, Andhra, USA. Her research papers have been published in high-impact journals and international conferences. Her titles and awards includes Karnataka Kalashri, Government of Karnataka, Senior Fellowship, Ministry of Culture, Government of India, Stree Shakti Samman, Karmavir Chakra, Nartana Nipuna, Bharatanatyam Sreshta and others. We welcome you, ma'am.
Satgurave Namaha. Pranams to Dr. Kameshwari, pranams to Dr. Balasubramaniam, to the Deputy Director, to our Chair, to a very august gathering here. Kindly never thank me, Balasubramaniam sir, for accepting to come here, because this is one place where the spiritual energy gets replenished. And looking at the great portraits around us, we might get somewhere some courage to attempt research, because this is such a hoary atmosphere, and I'm extremely humbled that one more time, this is the third time that I'm connecting with this great institution, and I'm thankful that they published my paper recently in one of the esteemed journals, Oriental Research, on concepts of Trika in Natya Shastra. And today, as Sir rightly said, I have chosen a good topic of Bharatanatyam as a ritual. Let me offer my prayer in the form of a song and a little bit of abhinaya, just a few lines, because as a dancer, it makes me more warmed up. श्रीचक्रराज सिंहासनेश्वरी श्रीललिता बिगये भुवनेश्वरी आगमवेद कलारूपिणी अखिल चराचर जननी नारायणी नाग कंकण नडराज मनोहरी ज्ञान विधेश्वरी राजराजेश्वरी श्रीचक्रराज सिंहासनेश्वरी श्रीललिताम्बिकये. Today is Naga Panchami, and I'm extremely grateful that the Almighty preponed my talk. And I'm lucky that a little before I spoke, Dr. Ramadevi spoke about certain concepts which connect very much. And again, I think the other speaker spoke about the macrocosm, microcosm, and the metaphysical aspects which is common to architecture, arts, common to every learning, because if we accept that what we see with the eyes is the only truth, we are actually fooling ourselves. So let us go layer after layer. We have some distinguished artists in the audience. Thank you very much. Some of you are performing on a regular basis, youngsters and gurus who have your own parampara that is happening. So this attempt of Bharatanatyam as ritual through this paper is going to make us all look within what we're all doing on stage today, something which was inherited in the temple, something which was exclusively for the communities who danced in the temples has been thrown open throughout the world, and we have everyone who is engaging in the art. There are times when we find that the gap between the Shaiva Agama, from which all this is evolved, we know hundreds and thousands of years since when the precursors to the so-called Bharatanatyam, the Sadir was practiced, and before that, what was the Bharadas Natyam, which was done, and then on a few hundred years ago, that the so-called name that we all as proponents perform, Bharatanatyam, came up. What we do today, in general I'm speaking, is we do a lot of admixture here and there. The margalism sometimes becomes lopsided. The main piece of the repertoire, which is Padavarnam, is sometimes given in small bits and pieces. Is that the right approach? So where is it that we need to connect back and understand how this margam itself has a lot more to teach us as practitioners? Is it marking a journey, as the great Doyen Balama told, of getting into the sanctum of the temple, connecting with the deity? Is it the Arohana Krama, which is the dissolution from the gross to the subtlest, which is in the Garbhagudi, which is marked by that Vimanam with those various stories? We saw the 9 divisions there. Some of you showed the Karalas which are there. Some of you in the picture showed us some Apsaras dancing in the Gopura. Is it just coincidental? Why is it that we don't think about how the quartet has given us this jewel of a margam, exclusive to Bharatanatyam, that we have the central piece of Padavarnam? What could be the deeper significance of it? Can we do justice to that in the future? So these are the small questions that triggered in me. So for the choice of this paper today. And I think immediately after my main research of Tantra, the science and Natya, the Art Kuppaswamy Shastri Research Institute hosted me, and later on I had a chance to take it to many more places. So let me hope and pray that after this concept built upon Margam as a journey into the microcosm, Margam as a journey into the temple, the macrocosm, the Pindanda responding to the vibrations it gets from that universal realm is my humble attempt here. Thank you. I will shift there so I can read from there. I'm afraid it's a PDF version because the PPT has become online, so I'm able to display the PDF version now. Am I audible to everybody? And is this to everyone? Yes, thank you. So we start from how in the Natya Shastra itself, we have reference to how the Nata Sutras coming under the Tantric ritual tradition or the Agamic tradition, the Shaiva Agamas, have influenced the preliminary part of Purvaranga with its element of worship, which is puja. So today also very few dance schools are performing the so-called Purvaranga. Yes, madam? Okay. Bharatanatyam contains triangular movements, the geometric movements, the rising flame, which is typical of the Bharatanatyam dance form. It has a stance of a yogi. So I'm trying to now discern for all of us the body, how the body is divided as a dancer. So from there on I go further. The yogi, we used to be always said, keep your Aramundi straight, keep your Saushtuvam. And I was fortunate to learn from the Sevallalar tradition, my gurus. And they've even told us at times to stand on paddy and tap our feet so we don't shake. And we used to have a stick that was tied like this around our waist. So it was a stiff, the Sushumna Nadi they used to tell us, and how the Brahma Sutra is supposed to be passing invisibly through your middle portion. So these are established in the very form itself as how energy is tapped. The moment we do this, we do a Purna Mandali, and then we have this full sitting, which is so typical of Bharatanatyam, half sitting, standing position. All these have a specific purpose in the method of the pedagogy of training itself, which is first on the lower half, and then it slowly evolves to the middle, and then the upper, the Abhinaya, we focus upon. So this is an idea is how I'm studying the art, the way it is taught, the way it has been meditated upon to bring out this form that it has today. The Agamic tradition in general, we always heard about the Makuta Agama or the Kamika Agama or Ajita Agama or Prodgitam. All these Agamas mention very clearly about how Natyam is part of the Shodopachara Puja and how in the ritual, the effort in the ritual, what does the ritual aim, sir? Sir will speak to us in detail, he said, about ritual. The ritual is to slowly unwind from this worldly and take you to from the mundane to the supra-mundane, from the iha to the para. It doesn't say that you neglect the world. It's a Shaiva Siddhantam. Ultimately it is Vedantam. It's in the Anta stage, but yet it may speak of Aham Brahmasmi, the ultimate stage, but yet it reckons how the world itself is utilized, how the body and the mind are utilized to go beyond the body and the mind. So that is the ritual in which we are offering the 5 elements. In dance, we established that very clearly, and in the way the Natya Grihas were consecrated also, that was the aim, and we had the Jarjara, like the Vedic Yupa, and the consecration of the pillars of the Natya Mandapa. All that follows the ritualistic worship. Now that it has been shifted from the consecrated space to a proscenium where we perform, we have to be a little more careful in that our prayer should not lose in terms of sincerity or in ritual. We have to perform it actually to mean what we do, whether it is lighting a lamp or offering a flower or giving a naivedyam. We have Ranga Praveshams by the dozen every week. So what we need to aim as artists is that ritual is to be maintained with sincerity, because this is how it was aimed to be. Now from there on, the stars, Tithi Nakshatra, the almanac, those who know the first chapter, second chapter, third chapter of Natya Shastra, we know after thousands of years, and even from the evolution over the years and the medieval texts that we have all followed, evolved through the modern texts, everyone speaks about how you're going to consecrate the space and bring that universal power onto that platform where you are performing. Now from here I come directly to this macrocosmic representation of this most sacred yantra that I am following, that I am trying to replicate and map along with our margam or the convention of Bharatanatyam, which is Sri Chakra, an expression of rhythm, aesthetics, representing the cosmos that is expanding and contracting in talam, in layam. Tantra, Sri Tantra associates the 43 triangles with a technique, with a sound, with a symbol, and with the Natya yoginis doing the karanas. The 44th, which is also a triangle, is the centermost, which is the pulsating dot. Saundarya Lahari, a few people also spoke of Saundarya Lahari and Japo Jalpahar, that slokam also was recited here. Another sloka which speaks about the description of the Sri Chakra is the 4 Sri Kanthas and 5 Shiva Yuvatis. The Shiva triangles and the Shakti triangles are the 9 Moola Prakritis, basic manifestations apart from Bindu. The form of the chakra with the 2 lotuses circles, which are 8 and 16 petals. The 3 surrounding circles which are there in some chakras but not in all the schools. And beyond that there are the 3 consecutive lines forming the gate of the mansion with totally 44 corners. In thy Mooladhara chakra, I meditate on Navatman, says the Jagat Guru Adi Shankara, who expressing 9 sentiments is engaged in Mahatandava dance at the company of Samaya, dancing Lasya. And we have the father-mother duo coming together for this Natyam, which is the basis for our creation, sustenance, absorption, removing the veil of ignorance, and finally Anugraham or grace. I quote again the late Balamma, who made such a powerful statement that the traditional order of Bharatanatyam recital reveals the spiritual through the corporeal, because we have only this form, this what the goddess has given us. That is why we need to take care of this also. This is the yantram that we have as artists, which gets energized as a deity when we are performing. So the recital itself, the margam itself, what she means here is the conventional model of the margam, structured like our great temple. We enter through the gopuram, cross the ardha mandapam, and then the mandapam, and then we are into the holy precinct of the Garbhagriha. This is the inner space which gives expansive scope to revel, she says. And now I come to how this Margam, what was the purpose of it? We all have repeatedly said in the past papers how the temple replicates the universe. And that temple is here. We are dancing in the temple. We are supposed to be dancing in the temple. So we make our way into the temple with the convention to touch the deity in the center. And then return back. The same way, we make a journey through this microcosm to touch the deity in your heart. So that is the extent to which the meditation in the dance is emphasized in the Margam, was the purpose of giving it this structure by the great saint poet Srimati Swami Dikshidhar, who has influenced. We know that the quartet, before that also there was the blueprint of the Margam from some of the patrons. It was concretized during the period of the quartet, who had music diksha from a great worshipper of Devi in the Sri Chakra, who was himself an embodiment of Nada Brahman. And he had provided, I'm sure the music scholars are going to speak of music, will agree that there is material given by him to correlate the Panchadashakshari, the Shorashi of the mantra and its tantra with music itself. The Tanjavur quartet, from among them Ponnaya, who was hailed as the Bharata Sreshta, he sang that I have reposed my faith in the previous Guru Murti, who was very talented in dance. This is by one who is seen as a founder of the Margam, is an endorsement of the saint's knowledge of the theory of dance. The dance worship is Laya Yoga. Sri Chakra Tantra is also the Samhara Krama, the Laya Krama, where they go from the external to the internal, and till we reach the Bindu as per the Dakshinamurti tradition. Shall we go to the next slide, please? Oh, here there are some pictures finally appearing. So that statement there, influenced by inconspicuous design of temple architecture and the Sri Chakra. Follow, please. Now, how we are mapping the repertoire with the yantra of the temple and the yantra worship, which is a ritual. The entry into the Bhupura chakra, which is the gates, which is the first avarana, the first sheath. The outermost three gates, which stand for mesmerizing the three worlds, the pattern of the movements follow this avarana. Mallari has Nadaswaram and Tavil. These are the invocations that we start with, like a temple procession, Pushpanjali with offering of flowers, a shloka to remove the obstacles in praise of Ganesha, the Kavatuvams, the Mela Prapti, and the various soli that we use, Tadito, Manam, or Digitaga, 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 Ta, Te, Tam, all that. You know, the Bija-aksharas per se have no meaning. They evoke the light energy and they mark these areas in the peripheral as we are entering into the temple. And some traditions also follow the Shuddha Nrittam for this, for the entry, and Todaya Mangalam. The next one. In which the Navasandhi Kautvams venerating the directions, simultaneously this is also pulled out from the Sri Chakra worship, okay? So we are following the worship of dance as a ritual and Sri Chakra as a worship. The Navasandhi Kautvams venerate the directions of these Devatas, and the number 9, which is significant throughout in your Vastu also, you often saw speaking about the number 9, the magic of 9. It's established in the beginning itself, and the emotional states of the Nava Rasas also are finding a place in the Sri Chakra. Allow Alaripu today, which is most common in our tradition, it marks the entry to the main Gopuram, the gates of Sri Chakra to the next Avarana, signifying the 16-petaled chakra, which is the fulfiller of all desires, that chakra. Alaripu means to adorn with flowers and blossoming out of a bud. The beads are traditionally only in Chaturashra and Tishra. It is only later that a lot of new innovations have started. So the basic Chaturashra itself is the basic, the denoting element for the beginning of rhythm, the beginning of creation. The fourth is also called the Chatura. Even I think among Panini Sutras also you have something called the Chatura, the fourth one, the Turiya state. So that is from where on starts the first, the rhythm of creation. So we have the rhythm of 4 beats, and we also have the rhythm of 3 beats, which is basic. The dance starts with the charming movements of the eye, neck, hand and feet. And the invocatory dance represent in the chakra, the energy points of Mooladhara or the earth, and the Swadhisthana or water. So earth and water, the basic things for creation, that is marked with the first number. The second one, Jatiswaram or Swarajadi. I have made the chakras design also, the colors also in such a manner that I've combined, like I've used vermilion and I have used turmeric color, and then the combination of that. So instead of white, I have made it yellow. Red and white generally, even in Natya Shastra, signify the Shiva and the Shakti colors. So here it is yellow and red instead. The dance is in the second and then the third avarana of 8 petals in the Sri Chakra. The chakra is that of, in the microcosm, I'm talking about macrocosm, microcosm simultaneously. So visualize a chakra and visualize the dancer. The third avarana of 8 petals, the Manipura or the fire chakra, which is supposed to dispel fear in the Sri Chakra. Here the movements are pure nritta again, and musical notes set to a particular raga, tala. It has sequence of adavas, so we are still in the level of swara and sul. This the rhythmic beats again for the Jatiswaram is 3 and 4. 4 also denotes the earth, the Vedas as per the study of chakra, Parapashinti Madhyama Vaikhari, and expands as 8 and 16 petals. 3 symbolizes water, creation, sustenance, dissolution, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, and Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So here we are marking how you also, with the performance, are emphasizing that you have got this yantram in you to start on this journey as a ritual from the Bhupura level right up to the Akasha, Chitakasha level, one after the other. Paravak in identity with Prakasha in manifestation evolves as Pashyanti. Madhyama is the faint whisper. Vaikhari is the speech where finally the object and the subject become distinct as Padartha. So after this comes the Padartha Abhinaya in Shabdam, where we are introducing. So now I have marked the trikonas in such a way that with Shabdam we are getting into the next avarana, which has got the Chaturdasha trikonas, the konas, the 14 triangles. Shabdam, which is the third piece in our margam, means word, literally strong voice of people. That is what we represent in the margam. One enters the 4th avarana, where the chakra from Manipura, we come into the Anahata chakra, which is standing for the wind element, granting the prosperity. So we are now propitiating each and every element. This is what we should remember. The margam is designed in such a way that each and every piece of it, the moment we hear the music and venerate ourselves, we are not short of any great tantri. They say that 1,000 rituals is equal to one moment in Laya. So to what extent we have to consecrate our inner space. Those days, the dancers used to do the antar yavanika inside or bahir yavanika, those ways in which they were consecrating and making prana pratishtha within themselves before they appeared. Today we just put the gajai and then the anchor announces and we are on stage and we start dancing. So to some extent, we need to understand that at the end of the day, it is a journey within yourself. It is not about traveling everywhere. It's a travel within yourself by which you are going to benefit a great deal, like Bharata promises, Shivaloka Apnoti. You are going to get that final and take also the rasikas to that level. So every part of the performance, the dancer, the singer, the poetry you choose, the musicians, the ambience, everything is designed to take you, like the temples, right to that level of para. So when we sing para, para, we are dancing para. But what is para? Is something that the dancer also has to understand and try to connect to that space. Now, with Shabdam comes the introduction of Abhinaya, using Angika Abhinaya, using Vachika Abhinaya. In Shabdam, you are not made to delineate the story in length. It is just in brief that you introduce. So Shabdam marks from Tadi Tomanam to after Tate Yate Tata Dayarada Pudavan. You start with a story like Kambaramayana or something like that. You start with, or whatever the quartet has given us. You start with the story element. Introduce the Padartha Abhinaya. Don't go into the Vakyartha Abhinaya at that level. So that is also designed in the same manner. A chakra with 4 samhara triangles and 5 shrishti triangles follows after this level of Shabdam when we come to the main piece de resistance. The quintessence of Bharatanatyam, the Pada Varnam. For a musician, Varnam is just beginning to, for Abhyasa, right? They sing the Varnam and then they go on for Ragam, Thanam, Pallavi. For a dancer, this is the main piece. And Varnam, Pada Varnam is designed as a standalone piece. And today we have to generate more and more pupils to be able to do the age-old Varnams instead of doing teasers of Varnams. Because Varnams is meant for a complete journey into the temple itself. The 9 avaranas are there inside it. The Jivatma, Paramatma purpose is established in the Padavaranam. Yes, please. So this particular thing that I tried to make was to put in the Star of David, so-called the inside the Bindu, the actual connection of Shiva and Shakti right in the middle. So in the Varnam we go right into the Bindu. And Charanam, they say, is the heart of the Varnam. The heart where from there on it picks up and you repeat it time and again. You like Nataraja Deva. How many times you keep repeating it? So you're right over there. And then you do the swaras. And then you do the abhinaya. So it's a great joy for us that we are right in the most sacred part of the temple and the most sacred part where Chitta Ambaram, where he is actually residing. So that's why those days the Varnams are mostly in praise of Lord Nataraja only. Like all of them were designed in those big temples or made for those deities by the kings. The beginning has 4 units of pure dance interspersed with Sahitya and corresponds to extolling the feats of the Lord. The deity is usually Shiva. And we are going to the Bindu where they say that it is not Nada but Nada Anta state, which is one of the states in Trika meditation. Shaivagama, Shaiva Siddhanta is the same as Trika, where it is Pashupati and Nara, and here it is Pashu, Pati and Nara over here, and it is Shiva, Shakti, Nara over there, Pashu, Pati and Pasha in Shaiva Siddhanta. Or if it is Para, Apara and Parapara, then it is Bheda, Abheda, Bheda, Abheda. So it is just the same, a little bit of differences. I'm sure that they know about the malas, which is a bit different. Otherwise, it is one and the same. So they say Bharata himself is a Trika Sutrakara. From there on, we are now at this level where we are performing, which is something actually the goal, the purpose of Shaiva Agama in Rupa, in Nama, as a dance. So in Padavarnam, why do we have Shringara? They say, why so much of Shringara? There was an attempt by many people to remove Shringara. But what is the importance of Shringara? It is only in Shringara that a male is dissolving his male body and getting into the Shakti, is getting into the female, so all the barricades are destroyed. We can't say that a man is, all are Shaktis. It is not that Shakti is only for women. It is the principle of the movement, the energy in every part of creation is Shakti. So to break that gross barrier, he becomes a Nayika. And then he moves closer. So if Shakti is approaching Shiva, nobody can become Shiva. It's a wrong claim. You can only become Shakti at her greatest, highest level. Then the door is open to connect with Shiva ultimately. So that is the purpose of Shringara, where all the limitations of the body, all the way in which you are pulled down by the jada or all the kinds of asanas, all of that can be removed only with this. And by Shringara they meant is love to surrender, prema. It's bhakti. It's beyond the rati. It is far higher. So to that level only Shringara can take you. And the Varnam is designed for that. And in the end, when they close the Varnam, there is a puzzle that is left by the dancer. Is the union happened or not? So you are not supposed to show the actual union, which is what is happening today on stage, unfortunately. So what you are supposed to show is leave that suggestion that it is a continuous thirst, the continuous incompleteness that we all have in our daily life. The completeness comes, the finite becomes the infinite only through the union with the Paramatma. So that is the deeper meaning of Shringara, and we should definitely do the Shringara Padams. Why have any kind of odd feeling when your Nayaka is the Lord? The Nayaka is not any person next to you. It is the Lord ultimately. So that was the purpose of that in the Padavarnam. And here from this song we mark a very important level of transition in the chakra also. We are going to from the outer 10 triangles, Bahirdasha, you go into the inner, the Antardasha, which is also signifying the rise of Kundalini, the 10 Mudra Shaktis. That is the same Mudra Shaktis, the Dasha Mahavidya, inner, the outer is the Dasha Avatara. It is only Devi who is shown in different forms. So we now go into the esoteric, the actual metaphysical part of inside the chakra, where you are connecting with the deepest level of thought, the deepest level of spiritual existence. So here the song also is being designed to accentuate in tempo with the charana, and then the speedy movements come, then you cross over and come to the 7th avarana, which has the vowels, consonants, vagadevatas, manasu, buddhi, ahankara. So what is it? You are actually breaking from all these bondings, and you are getting more and more into the raw spiritual mode. So that is what is established through Varnam, which is a colorful representation. Varnam also is the seed syllable, the singular anahata dhvani, that is also Varna. Now, here on we move to the 8th Trikona chakra. From the Antardasha, we come to the Trikona Trikona, which also has the 15 facets of Chandrakala. I'm sure all dancers will agree that the second half, in the end, there is always, in the lyrics itself, we'll have a Somarasa, we'll have the Chandrakala, we have all this union of how the rasa is with the deity. So these are what it actually signifies. The Vishuddha and Ajna, Lalata chakras, we are rising here, representing ego and the mind, are empowered at this matrix of Icha, Jnana, Kriya, Shaktis. We are rising to the upper, higher level. The Abhinaya and Varnam, we should all admit, has all the aspects, and Sattvika is the most important. Without Sattva, your dance cannot move. Bharata says that very emphatically. And you cannot teach Sattvika Abhinaya. Can you all teach Sattvika Abhinaya? You cannot. It has to be felt. So Sattvika Abhinaya comes, as they say, when the elements connect, when Akasha and Prithvi, when Vayu and Jala, then you have the perspiration, you have the ashru, you have the change of voice, you have the change of color, or the horripilation. All that is nothing but the 5 Mahabhutas interacting with each other. So here, the 9th Avarana finally is now, with all these abhinayas, you are able to connect and go deeper to come finally to the 9th Avarana, which is Maya Sahita Brahman. It is not only Brahman. Yes. And the point of union is left to the imagination. Here I also have taken Navarasa Varanam of Sri Ram Guru Jayaraman, which is a case study that I have taken based on this study, on this research. Last slide, please. Yes, we have Padam. This is one performance that I have done only with the chakra as a bindu, it is being called. Padam with the inner avaranas, javalis, kirtanas. In the temple it marks the various ancillary and peripheral deities. The main piece was with the main Nataraja, who was somebody said that he is the Vastu Purusha, in actual form is the main deity. And finally, yes, you come back with Tilana from the Samharana Krama. With Tilana, you are getting, because as we have to open and close, we again come back to the Bhumi level. With that, we are establishing the Srishti Tattva. We do the Ranga Kramana, we do the Adavas, which is centrifugal, centripetal, and we do all the Karanas, again coming to the various Gopuras, the passages in the temples, and establish that you have made that Arohanam, you have done the Avarohanam also in your dance. So that is why it is designed to be the last number. Yes, please, last one. Please go ahead, yes. Yeah, just one last slide, yes. This is something that I wanted you all to see. Balu sir, just 5 minutes, Balu sir. 5 minutes, is okay? So do you want me to cut it here or explain this? You can finish it off? Okay. Train 5:20. The Bhupura, the Shodashadala Padma, I have designed it with the microcosm as a dancer, marking the levels, and the various chakras on your subtle level, and the various texts that I have taken to connect all that I told you all right now, along with the Agama Encyclopedia and a few other texts that if I have time, I'll show you the bibliography. Yes, please, next one. Some of these worshipful Hasta Mudras, which is being used both for worship and for dance that I have connected. And the 3 layers in Bharatanatyam very much established. The 3 kutas of a chakra in your dance is very clear. So my attempt has been to connect the marga with the chakra, the dancer herself on the microcosmic level with a yantra. Yes, the last slide, please. This is from your own library that I pulled out a text last time, Varivasya Rahasya, which also had taken for my references, which is what is the last line over there. And the various stages of meditation that I have written out there, 1/16 of a matra, Trika meditation, which is followed also in our dance, in the laya, in the thala, as we integrate all these aspects together, we are able to achieve a ritual through our dance. Thank you very much, all of you, for your patient hearing of a subject which is something very difficult also to speak for me. Thank you. Which is what I'm experiencing at every level of my dance. Thank you.
I should inform every one of you here that her article that has come out recently in our Journal of Orient Research is about the Trika philosophy as given by Abhinav Gupta, not in his Tantra Loka, but in his Abhinav Bharati, invocatory verses of each chapter. There are 34 chapters. 2 chapters do not have the invocatory verse because of the loss of the manuscript, but all the 32 chapters have the invocatory verse. No voice? Hello? All the 32 chapters have the invocatory verse, which she has interpreted, not interpretation, it is really beautifully. She has discussed the Trika philosophy brought out by Abhinav Gupta in those invocatory verses. Kindly please, every one of you read it, especially where is Umapati. Umapati should read it, and Professor Tyagarajan and Professor Srinivasan should read and give your comments. It's a beautiful article she has done. Thank you.
Karma. Since she is leaving shortly, she wanted me or my comments on her speech immediately after her speech. As I initially started Natyam Pinnaruchege Vedapekam Samaradakam, it is an Aradhana, no doubt. But to understand and relate it with dance, perhaps this is the first time I am hearing an excellent correlation of both mantra, tantra and natya. In Srividya Tantra, Dr. Balasubramanian knows, and others in the KSRI know, that there is a work by Bhaskaracharya, is it? Chit Gagana Chandrika. It is not Bhaskaracharya, ascribed to Kalidasa, but unfortunately it is not of Kalidasa, but by one Srivasa, in which these things are correlated. Apart from this, a yoga aspect also is mixed in it. And there also I don't find any relation or rather anything related to dance. Though we talk of Raja exhibiting the entire thing in him, the esoteric aspect of it is not really understood by many. A few people have understood. Theoretically people have accepted, understood, but practically they have not delivered the goods to the audience or the persons who are interested as aestheticians. The things we have been talking about remained at be the Lalita Sahasranama and also Saundarya Lahiri. Mooladhara Ikanalaya, we say, Swadhisthana Bujaruda, and then Manipurantara Sthita, Anahatabjanalaya, Vishuddhi Pranalaya, Agya Chakrantaralasta, Mooladhara Ikanalaya. And here, Brahma, Bhujarudha. These are all Shaktis. These Shaktis, first time were just delivered through music by Ussam Dikshita in his Navavarana. All these kutas he brought out and all the Navavaranas he discussed, and indirectly he has made you understand that the entire Sharira is nothing but that, and the cosmo aspect of it also indicated. And with regard to the Sahasraram Bhujarudha, in the Lalita Sahasranama, how to raise your Kundalini to the Sahasrara. Of course, these are all the ways, margas, as you said. This is a marga, new technical term. But how it has to reach? It can only be reached only by step. All of a sudden you can't jump over the other thing. The step by step of things that are being taken to make you realize that you are none other than, you are a potentially divine being, and all potential divine qualities are within you, and how to realize step by step. These things are being narrated. And as Kalidasa himself has said in some other stage, this is one art, will come to Kala, that makes people understand what you convey through gestures and also through your different bhavas which you have within you. I do not know how many dancers are able to portray this through their dance. Nowadays, dance has become just like anybody can dance in any way without any grammar for it. That is not the case. There is a system behind it, and that system is not even taught by the teachers. That is the thing. You teachers, of course, you may teach them how things are there behind it, the aspects of dance. And with regard to the personal aspect of it, you talked about Madhyama, and of course the Vaikari, the term you have not used. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikari, the 4 stages of exhibition through words. And you talked about dance and the music, Sangeetam, Atha Sahityam, Saraswatya, Stanadvayam, Ekam Apar Maduram, Anyada Alochanamritam. You are exhibiting it. How? You are able to experience the Navarasas, Sringara, everything. The Navarasas are not merely for enjoyment. That you should have within you. Every day we are enjoying. The Navarasas are there within us. But we don't identify what is that rasa within us. We immediately get angry. So, everything is there within us. So, if you at the one point which you mentioned attracted me well, because in a sadhana, you have sort of Baul knows very well about it. You have certain concentration on a particular thing through which you are able to attain a sort of peace. You told about para, then the maximum, the ultimate thing the dancer has to enjoy. The ultimate thing, even by Vedanta and other Shastras also it is said, it is Ananda. Anando, Brahme Dvejanat. So that Ananda has to be realized. And if it is not realized, there is a Rasabhanga. So, the extreme level you will have to enjoy, and for which
presented papers and delivered lectures at various institutions. He has authored a book titled Krishi Parashara, which was published at the inauguration of the 75th anniversary celebrations of our institute. He has also authored research articles dealing with various topics in different UGC CAR approved journals. And he is currently assisting in the Vaishnava Agama and manuscript cataloging projects, which would be published shortly by the Kupuswami Shastri Research Institute. I welcome you, sir.
व्याख्यामुद्रां करसरसिजैः पुस्तकं शङ्खचक्रे बिभ्रद्भिन्नस्फटिकरुचिरे पुण्डरीके निषण्णः अम्लानश्रीः अमृतविशदैरंशुभिः प्लावयन् माम् आविर्भूयात् अनघमहिमा मानसे वागधीशः. Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha. At the outset, let me offer my humble pranams to the chairperson of this session, Dr. V. Kameshwari ma'am, and other distinguished scholars. My topic is sowing of seeds as gleaned from Krishi Parashara. Agriculture involves many activities such as selection of soil, tilling, and so on. Among this, sowing of seeds is one. If a person is so desirous of high yield, then he has to take care of the sowing meticulously. In literature, it attracts considerable recognition. Our ancestors taught us the indigenous techniques for achieving high returns in the agricultural production by paying special focus to this process. All the seeds do not fructify. There are some techniques involved to make the seeds a growth yielding one. Firstly, the potential ones are to be segregated from the feeble ones. Secondly, they are to be properly preserved from the harms caused by the natural calamities such as flood. And thirdly, the soil is to be tilled and manured properly for the proper growth of the plants. Germination is possible only from the good seeds. This point shall be discussed in this paper. First, let us see the reference to sowing in Vedas. In the Rig Veda, when prayers are offered to the Marut deities, it is mentioned that the longevity in life, bliss to be bestowed like the potential seeds. Many references to this process, that is sowing, can be seen in our Sanskrit literature or ample testimony to show that how our ancestors have given importance to this. In Vedas, the word sowing is not used everywhere connecting the agriculture. Somewhere it is used as part of explanation of the sacrificial rite. For instance, in one of the hymns of the Rig Veda, the stone used to crush the soma juice is extolled. Here, the sowing of seeds by the cultivator is shown as example. In another hymn, where the Ritviks are praised, Sayanacharya, citing Apastamba, mentions that the 7 seeds such as Vrihi, Masha, Tila, etc. are to be sown on the plowed field